Quick question. What if I tried to make music like Mick Gordon? And I know since the GDC conference, a lot of people were inspired by his work, and I understand he's a great guy, so I attempted at making music like him, and apparently I didn't follow anything from his GDC talk. So here is my creation, and welcome to how not to sound like Mick Gordon. So first off, everything here, everything I used is all of it is free plugins, and yes, I am using Ableton's free 90-day live suite. I'm gonna upgrade. Okay, I have the intro version, but I can't use more than 16 scenes, so it's a hassle. So yeah, I'm using this. I'll be upgrading soon, don't worry. So first off, for what Mick Gordon loves doing is using sound design, like doing sound design using analog synths, and most people use Serum for that, but I personally used a plugin called Vital. Now, welcome to my Ableton, and as you can see, everything is in blue because my laptop would not be able to handle any of it, so I freeze most of the tracks. So first off, Vital. Holy shit, is this amazing. Like, if you can't afford Serum, get this. This is amazing. Like, the sounds that it makes, everything about this is just freaking incredible. And by tweaking some of this, and it has a lot of presets that you can tweak. I'm not gonna tweak anything because it will fuck up my recording. And you can tweak any settings. You can basically make any sound with this if you want. And by doing some bit crushing, also I used Melda's free plugins for saturation, bit crushing. Ableton has all of that, but the intro version doesn't have any of these, so I use this. And these are all free, by the way. These are great plugins. And what came up, the core idea of this whole thing came up from this sound right here. And to give it this grittiness, I used an amp, Blue Cat's free amp simulator. This is really good. Use the classic drive crunch preset. I just loaded in the preset and made it sound like that. I didn't do any tweaks or adjustments. And yeah, that's how the whole song started, and it came from this. Let's freeze this track in before my laptop crashes completely. Alright, so the next thing I did was the core, the main instrument, and here it is. Now I'm gonna have to unfreeze this track, which is gonna completely fuck everything up. But yeah, it's worth it. So I again used Vital for this, and I tweaked a certain preset, which is memory leak. I changed the waveform to quad saw, and adjusted some of the envelope, the LFO, and turned it triangle, adjusted the frequency, all of that, a bunch of mumbo jumbo that you don't need to know. But yeah, and by doing some of these adjustments, and the sound came out like this. And if you can tell the greenness from it, I used Amplitude. I love this plugin. I'm using the trial version, which only lets you use 2 of their models, but it's amazing. And it's a monster of a plugin. So my laptop it fucking crashes every time I use it, so hopefully this does not mess any of our setup, because it loves doing that. Yeah, I'm using a bass amp without any tweaking, and I added 2 EQs to adjust it, and that's how the sound came to be, with some EQ, like actual EQ, and some auto pan to make it more wider and open, and that's how the main instruments came to be. And let's freeze this track again. For the drums, I used MT Power Drum Kit, which is a free drum plugin. Which this thing sounds really good. Now, normally it does not sound like that because I use some compression and equalizing, saturation, added some reverb to make it sound wider. This thing, I love it. This plugin is only in the Suite version of Ableton, which I got to use it in the free trial. This thing is amazing. Like, it gives it such a good punch, and I'm excited to use it more. And the next thing, I added some ambience, which were already in Ableton. It's not much. Like, you can just hear them like that. Let's see. You need this kind of ambience in the track. And then more, this on its own, let me unfreeze this way. Now this thing on its own sounds like this. That the EQ sounds like this. But if we removed the mids, by completely removing the mids and the highs, it sounds like this, which is the perfect kind of sub that we need for a track like this. So yeah, again, I used, all of these are from the samples on Ableton that are already built in. So none of these I actually took except for one instance, and these are all risers, drum risers, like rides, build-ups, normal stuff. And we get to the guitar. Now, hey, what kind of guitars do you play, Ali? None. I'm currently in the learning progress. This is an actual sample I found online by a dude called Jansen. Check him out. He's great guy who makes. This was free. This sample was free, and it sound like, with some saturation, bit crushing, compressing, and adding some OTT, it sounds like this. Which is the perfect amount of grittiness in the guitar that I was looking for. Amazing sample. I know it's a sin to use samples in a metal track, especially guitars, but since this project is already a joke, I decided to use it anyways. The rest is all the electronic sounds, like the ear candy that Mick likes to use. I use some arpeggiation, basic sine waves, saturated it, made it wide, and on its own sounds like this. Just to add some grittiness to the track, some ear candy. And here is the bass. Nothing special. I consolidated. This was only one beat. I consolidated them into one. Beat drops. It's not noticeable in the track, but it has an effect on it. And then there is this sample, which I do not remember, but it's in the track and you'll hear it. I don't know where I found it. It's in the samples. It sounds like this. And this is without any effects. The sample sounds like this on its own, which is really cool. So yeah, this is my attempt at making music like Mick Gordon. And yeah, it's called All Hell's Loose. And if you want this after listening to it, if you want this on Spotify or any of the streaming services, just comment down below. I'll be happily doing that. So yeah, enjoy.